Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to another episode of Holistic Healing with Laurie. I'm your host, Laurie, and today we have another inspiring story to share with you of a relief and transformation student. This is Nina that you're going to be meeting, and she is another student in the relief and transformation course. And her journey with Lyme disease, a concussion, and a severe reaction to one of the vaxes it was like walking through a storm for her, but her life took a turn for sure when she joined our course, and she's seen some wonderful progress along the way. So I'm very excited for her. She's going to share her experiences with you, the challenges that she's faced, and some of the breakthroughs that she's made. And even since this interview, she has made even more breakthroughs, which I'm really excited about. And she's going to be talking about how the relief and transformation course has played that pivotal role in her healing process. If you're ready to start your own healing journey, definitely join us for the upcoming Long COVID and ME/CFS Masterclass series. It's going to be starting on October 5th, and you can learn more about this series in the description below. But for right now, I'd like to introduce you to Nina. Nina, welcome.
Hi, Laurie.
Hi. So I have to tell y'all, Nina is an incredible artist. I went kayaking today, which seems like it's off topic, but she actually designed the kayak that I used. It's an inflatable kayak, y'all. It's amazing. And every time I use it and there are other people around, they always ask me where I got it from because they think it's so cool, which I do too. So she's absolutely incredible. And she's had some really wonderful strides that she's been making in the relief and transformation course. So I wanted to chat with her about that. And Nina, before we talk about those strides and the changes that you've been seeing, can you tell us how long you have been sick? And yeah, let's start there.
I actually had got and also healed from Lyme about 5 years ago, like healed 5 years ago. Then I got over a concussion. Then I got rid. So it's one thing after another. And then I did my thing for the COVID vaccine, and I got a really bad reaction from the very first Pfizer. So that was in April 2021. So that's been the most challenging of anything I've ever had. And yes, 2 years and not a lot of support from doctors because honestly, they don't really know what to do. And everybody's trying all kinds of things.
Yeah, thank you for that background. Yeah, that's very helpful because I know that you do have doctors who have been helpful for you in the past. And yeah, but when it's something that seems to be so new like this, it can certainly be difficult. And how long now have you been in the relief and transformation course? I was trying to think.
Since January of this year. So
Okay.
6 months.
Yep. Okay, gotcha. And what made you decide to join? Because I know that it's a big commitment and it's like I've tried 100 million different other things.
I tried, you're right. I did try an awful lot of things and I was looking for answers everywhere. And I had a couple of, actually, my yoga teacher last year told me about the summit that you had last year.
Oh, wow.
I got to know you or at least I felt like I got to know you. And it gave me an idea of just the breadth of the information that you have and the type of support that you offer really spoke to me because that is how I like to treat any of the illnesses I've had in the past. I thought that, so I felt very comfortable with everything that you had presented and how you presented it, and also how you talked to others during the summit. So I took some of your workshops. I think they're called 2 or 3 day long work. Yep. Is it 3 day workshops? Anyway, some of the short workshops just to get an idea. And then that's what, yes.
Yeah. And it's been a wonderful meeting. You and I have bonded over the love of kayaking and nature. And yeah.
And then also because of exactly what you offer, and in terms of the various treatments, different levels of treatments, and also the duration of your program that you offer and the kind of support that you offer, don't think I know of anybody else of doing that. And I'm also a very resourceful person, and I can research up to my Yahoo kind of thing. But what happens is then always second guessing myself. So your program really offers so much, and the specialists that I know that you consult with are outstanding. And so that made me feel very comfortable about the type of program that you're offering. And because honestly, it's pretty scary if you're out there and nobody else has the answers. So a little bit of support isn't going to hurt, and it's only going to help.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. I'm so glad that resonated for you. Now, you have, uh, it's so cool to be able to. I have this wonderful blessing of having a bird's eye view of watching your journey. And it's been amazing to remember interacting with you in the beginning of the course and interacting with you now. And I know that I'm not the only one who sees it. Other people who have been in the course since January, they see that change in you as well. So, what are some of the things? Let's start off with giving us a physical example of something that has shifted for you since then.
Yes, one of the major problems that I had from the vaccine was I ended up getting MS, or symptoms resembling that, and symptoms resembling POTS, and symptoms resembling anyway, really poor gut health. And so for me, it was important. And this is where what your program offered. So for me, just even tackling that, and I had tried so many different things that were supposed to work, and it didn't. Any of the things I had done in the past, it only added on top of that. And so when I started your course, for example, there was only basically six things that I could eat that, and it's for the first time in my life, it was because I used to be able to eat anything. Although I always ate healthy, to be left with only eating about six things without it upsetting my system, that was amazing. And it wasn't until the last couple of weeks where I noticed a huge shift. And it's just by sticking to low carb, high protein diet, the eating plan that you offer. Because it's not a diet I can eat as much as I like, as long as it's within that kind of I call it like a triangle, kind of like food, like proteins, vegetables, and whatever else, fats and fat,
Yeah.
right? All of anyway. So that was really good. And I'm in control of what I eat. So I never felt like I needed to starve, in
So I
fact.
are
And
able to eat more than six foods now. Is that what you're saying?
yes. So because of that, there are a few things I still can't tolerate, certain types of tomatoes. But if I use, let's say, low histamine tomatoes, I can add a few of those in there. But so, yeah, now it's rare that I find something I cannot eat out of that I have to prepare myself, like items.
Right, that are whole foods that are in the eating plan. Yeah, that's beautiful. And I know also because 'cause you've mentioned that you've been able to even just to walk more, right? Because you take your walk.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for reminding me about that. A- and on top, yes. So when I came to the program, my energy was so very low, and my immune system was also very low, and I had a hard time walking up the stairs without really wondering what was going to happen. And I ended up getting a walk. For example, just to give you an idea, I was afraid of, because I lived by myself, so I ended up getting a Apple Watch or something. This is not an Apple thing, but just because it has that fall detector type thing. So I did all the things I could, but I was, but my mobility was so limited, incredibly limited. And I was used to walking when I was well, I was used to walking 6 kilometers a day with my dog, no problem. And to be able to and at that point, in January, I had a hard time walking around the block. And so what was nice is it felt like you gave me a hand up in a way, because you gave me basically a blueprint of how to move forward and also how to pace myself. So the pacing was so crucial to me being able to find my way back to health. I still have a ways to go, but for example, now uh, I I can, on a good day, if I pace myself, like I can go for a 15-minute slow walk, and I consult my watch. So I watch the heart rate, but everything is very low within, it never races, sort of seven beats per minute. Where before that, I would just go stand outside and maybe brush the snow off my car and it would race up to 140 beats per minute. So this is huge. Like it's huge. So I feel healthier. I feel safe when I'm moving around. And also I know what to do now and what works. And when I do too much, if I overstep it, because of course it's summer now. But anyway, but now I know what to do to get back on track. But the whole thing was I pulled my bike out of the shed yesterday. I was bored and and I was trying to find something that I could do. And so I pulled it out, and I was so happy because I regained my balance from the movement. I got on the bike and I was able to at least bike for 5 minutes. So for me, it sounds like nothing to people who go biking for hours, which is what,
I
but
think everybody here knows what a big deal that is, and the fact that you aren't crashed today.
no, it was fabulous. It was fabulous. And I had earlier that day, because I have a rowing machine. So I was on the rowing machine for 7 minutes and my heart rate was kept within that window. It's really easy to monitor it. And so that's fabulous because honestly, I had lost so much muscle in my legs. Like in January, February, March, I was looking at my legs thinking, where's the muscle? And that was so frightening. But now I feel so much stronger and I'm moving in the right direction. And that's fabulous. Oh, I can actually kayak like out on the lake, but I have to plan for it. So yeah, and I'll get somebody to help me inflate it. And then once I'm on the water, I can do that as well. And so that's opened the door back to regaining my life again, part of my life. And
Amazing, amazing. And I want to make sure that everybody out there understands that Nina she has her own personalized approach that she's taking, right? So you've been able to add in more physical things than a lot of people can at this point. And so that's such a blessing. And so what we do, because some of the other people who have been in the program around the same amount of time as you, they aren't quite ready yet for the physical things, right?
but you're so good at listening to your body, knowing when it's time to take those steps. I'm so happy for you that you're able to do these things. And I know another thing that you mentioned is that it's like you have this foundation now and maybe if you could talk just a little bit about that. I don't have the right word. I know you've described it really nicely. Do you know what I'm talking about that you've been writing about lately?
Just where I feel as if, okay, with the gut health, is this what you're referring to? But with the gut health, and it to me, it's not only symbolic, but it's also proven that that correcting the gut health and being able to eat foods has really helped my immune system and has given me the strength. And also, yeah, like things, what I've noticed is working on the foundation of my gut health, because that's the first thing that I think is for me anyway. And I think you do too. One of the most important foundational pieces to build on, because that's from that grows better immune system and stronger. And but in terms of being able to act, in terms of building activities into my daily life, that wasn't happening 3 months ago. It's around the 4 or 5 month periods, but it just flipped. And every so often, something will it's really odd. It just flips. I just find myself doing it or thinking, or it's like this chunk of armor, but it's not a physical, and it's not an emotional thing either, but something just falls off and then I can do it. And that's a strange feeling. It's learning how to walk all over again. Yeah. And like getting on the bike, because I didn't have the balance a month ago. I didn't have the balance 2 weeks ago, but I felt as if I did yesterday. And yeah, body will tell you when you're ready. It's-
Yeah. You know what? That's perfect. That's so perfect. So, before you started the course, how did you feel about recovering?
Oh, you're going to get me crying again.
Good crying, maybe.
It- Before the course, I felt like I honestly did not know which way to turn. I was very patient in healing, and I followed various protocols, because people with the COVID vaccine injury, the injuries are very similar to people with. So there was more and more information coming out. And I knew that there are people who were healing, let's say at the 9 month period or 1.5 year period or 2 years. But I knew not that everybody was different in terms of their healing. But for me, I honestly did not know where I was going. And I did not, yeah, I was pretty and depressed because I couldn't visualize healing anymore. And that was pretty scary. Honestly, the only thing that was getting me through that was meditating several times a day in order to keep me focused and calm and hopeful. So while I was depressed, I was also hopeful, but it's hard. So
Yeah. And that now that you're in the relief and transformation course and you're noticing all these shifts, how do you feel now about your recovery?
like I'm raring to go. Certainly hopeful. And if anything, it's the proof is in the pudding. Is that the right word? In the sense that I'm trying it and I'm moving at the pace that works for me, which is really important. And I'm doing so I'm following your protocol plan. And so, yeah, I just feel I'm so looking forward to the future, and the fact that I could get on that bike yesterday, obviously, and I'll still be using the electric bike, which I ordered, because I want to get out for longer. But the fact that I felt comfortable riding And people were saying, oh, get a trike. And I said, well, I think that's a bit overkill right now. I'll try a bike first. Trikes, I love trikes, but flow, it's not. I wanted to get back to. So what's important for me is to regain doing some of the things that I've always loved doing. And biking is one of them, and kayaking and walking. But
well, you have to share in our relief and transformation community about the bike. I would love to hear that. Yeah. And
I have what I'm in for. And all I know is even bicyclists who are healthy, they find that they are out longer on the bike because it allows them to listen to their bodies so they don't get weary. And it's so important for me, especially when I'm dealing with symptoms of post-exertional malaise, that I never reach that point of where I get tired, because that's when I slide backwards. And honestly, it might take me 2 months to get back up to the level. So that's why it's so important. And your support, the support that you offer with the weekly Zoom classes is amazing. And the community that you offer, even though, and I was thinking about this today, because even though the modules, like there's 12 modules in the course, but while each module is different, the first module doesn't go away when we're at the end. It's a matter of combining all of it so that it works synchronistically, right? In your body. And that's what's happening. So it's just building upon itself. And now I'm not sure where I was going with that. But
no, that's beautiful. You just explained it in a way that I would like to explain it that way. That's really beautiful. That's exactly how I set it up. So it's good to hear that's how it's happening too. Yeah, Nina, thank you so much for speaking with us today. I know that everybody really appreciates you sharing your story, and I know that it's going to be so uplifting for people. Yeah, and it's a joy to have you in the course and to be able to play in the kayak that you designed.
I'm happy about that too.
Great. Thank you so much.
That's it for today's episode, folks. And a massive thank you to Nina for joining us and for sharing her inspiring journey. Also want to let you know that she used to not even want to turn on her camera in our group Zoom classes, and she's come so far. I love that. She just shared that with us recently. Now, her story is a really powerful reminder that you can recover, you can have this healing journey, and things will shift when you stay the course. If Nina's story resonated with you and you're ready to start your own healing journey, then definitely join us for the upcoming Long COVID and ME/CFS Masterclass series starting on October 5th. I always like to do these series right before we open up registration for the Relief and Transformation course, to give you a little taste of what it's like to work with me and some of the things that we addressed in the course as well. So that masterclass series is free, and you'll find more details in the description. And just remember that every single small step that you take when you're addressing the right things, that every single step is a step towards your healing, and that it does add up. So keep it up, keep the hope up, know that it is possible, and I'll see you in the next Holistic Healing podcast, and lots of love to you.